Have you ever asked yourself how to respond to b3, 1b3 by white, and how counter it and to destroy it? In this game, I'll be trying to explain my thought process and how we approached 1b3, also known as the Nimzo-Larsen. So, my opponent, Savoy JP, started with 1b3. It's a 2200 strength, so it's quite strong, the opponent. So, okay, respond with e5, bishop b2, knight c6, just adding defense there. The bishop is scoping down. So, knight f3, attacking e5 as well. e4, occupying space in the center, so the knight has to jump. Knight jumps to d4. Common is to attack exchange. So knight takes, bishop takes, and then d5, and the game continues. Let's say d3 is common, e3 is common. After e3, you just continue with knight f6. Probably c4, d3, takes, bishop b7, d6, and soon you castle. It should be quite level. Yeah, according to valuation, it's quite balanced. But the way this game progresses is instead of taking, we go d5, occupy more space. Already we're moving into some rare territory. Knight takes, b takes. So there's a nice connect 3 in the center. What's going for white is probably going e3 next. Bishop e2 and castles. Or e3, d4. So a French, like reverse French almost, and black occupying e4, where normally it's white that would occupy e5. So d3 is now considered inaccurate. Perhaps now, yeah, e3 works because if takes, that can never work. I assume because of queen h. Maybe queen h4 down the line, or maybe bishop c5 first, or bishop d6. Bishop d6. The idea is bishop d6, let's say bishop d6 and a3, then now just the a3 is a dud move, and queen, maybe now even queen there. Oh, this is quite level, but okay, takes. Okay, maybe in a of course, queen takes a1, h1. Oh, but then it ends with the bishop g7. Maybe in a bullet or blitz, you could go for such ideas. But this e3 seems like a nice move positionally for white. Crams the structure here, and as the engine suggesting, yeah, knight f6, queen d2, and then yeah, now bishop d6 is quite fine, with the intentions of attacking this weak square, because f2 square is quite sensitive now for white. All right, so I responded by capturing on d3, which is considered inaccuracy as well. Slight inaccuracy, but it's just to open up the lines a bit. The e file, I was hoping white would capture with e, and then the game continues. Knight f6, bishop e2, bishop d6 as discussed, castles, and now instead of castling, black goes h5, and the reasoning behind h5, just turn the engine off, is to down the line attack on h2, have sights on with the knight on g4 going in, because what black dreams of is a scenario as such. Let's say a3 again. You could even now perhaps go for the sack, takes, knight g4, and of course the fishing pole trap. If you capture like that, there's all sorts of trouble now with h takes g should be fine for black. Yeah, h takes g there, and then queen h4. Of course, now you can run, but this is very uncomfortable, and white is bound most likely to error due to this pressure on the h file and the open h file. So that's the reasoning behind h5 a couple moves ago. All right, so h5 and h3, and already that's a slight inaccuracy, softening up the h3 square and the and the structure here around the king, because now the light square bishop, see how operational these bishops are. We call them sniper bishops. They're very dangerous, very operational, and black would not castle in this game due to this h5 opening, and this h5 push becomes crucial later on with the rook swinging to h6 and g6 eventually, as these pawns are bound to feel a lot of pain. So h3, bishop e6, and it considered slight inaccuracy, but the reasoning behind this is to let's say a3 again, just to make a sample move, is to go queen d7 and laser down on h3. All right, so bishop e6, knight d2. Logical intention is now maybe to go knight f3 and shut down any ideas, funny thoughts here that black might have to go queen d7 and bishop takes h3 stuff. Because if queen d7, say queen d7 again, let's say, which did happen, and now knight f3 considered a mistake, it's recommended to take on h3, and black finds this move. Taking back is a big error, because now to take back, it allows for this rook h6 business coming to g6. But in my error, I took back immediately, hope with the intention that now, of course, okay, if let's say white makes a silly move instead of this rook e1, because in my mind this was drawn, the sequence I follow, and the engine agrees. I had not seen rook h6 first. I had first calculated queen takes h3, and then thereafter, let's say a slow move again, for example. Then of course now there's a mate coming in a couple. I foresaw that, but I thought that okay, if white plays accordingly, there should be draw. I was thinking, because I didn't see this rook h6 immediately, I was thinking, let's say sample line again a3. I was thinking I could get the repetition at least, but then of course again rook h6 wins. So I don't know, due to some fogginess after queen h3, okay, rook e1 of course is saving, because now of queen g4, you can slide away, and there's no way black enters, because now I have rook h6, and of course bishop f1, and white is completely winning, because not just of the defense on g2 with the bishop swinging to f1, but of course there's a discovery on black's king, and there's an attack on the queen. So now of queen e6, it's simple. You could even just start by chopping off here. There's no rush, and then eventually I would just capture there, and the system's winning. So after the sequence, I thought I'd blundered, because I thought that this rook e1 would come, and then bishop f1, and I got nothing to write home about other than a draw. But okay, after bishop to e5, I thought for a couple minutes. Okay, what went through my mind was first, now rook h6, because I thought this is desperate now. But then I realized, okay, if we take, he must, or she must, go rook e1 to set up the sequence of bishop f1 again. But if captured, as what happened in the game, now it's a mate in 10, starting with knight to g4. It's important here not to start with rook h6, as now we are moved slow. And now rook e1 again, this doesn't work even because of the knight capturing on g6, and it is GG's for us. So it's important to get rid of this knight on e5. It is a mate in 10 if played perfectly by black, but still we need to ensure that we leave nothing behind, because if now knight to g4 is played, if you capture here, it's h takes, and there's no stopping on h2 or h1 due to this h file being opened. So knight e5, knight g4, knight f3, and now rook h6, the knockout blow. And yeah, for a moment I thought I'm lost, because again, rook e1, and I thought, okay, I have nothing here. I thought there's nothing to stop bishop f1, but because I was considering rook f6, the whole time. But that does not work because again of bishop f1 check with discovery. So not me realizing that instead of rook f6, took me some time, as you could see there, a whole minute, rookie errors. Rook g6 wins because now if white comes with a discovered check, black blocks the discovered check, and not just blocking the discovered check with the rook, but in that also creating a new discovery with the rook on g6 as the knight swung from g4 to e3. And with that, it is a mate in 3. The game continued. Rook g6, queen d2, knight d3, knight g5, takes bishop g4 check and mate. Guys, that is the recipe, one of the ways to go about attacking the Nimzo-Larsen if your opponent responds with knight f3, d5, and thematic, just to try and always keep control of the center. You tend to gather strong results by following these basic concepts. And if you can see, you have operational bishops, nice snipers. Of course, the engine would say castle, you know, it's solid, it's concrete, but it's not as if you lost if you go h5 and try and take space on the flanks. If anything, it could fluster your opponent. So guys, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for your time. Don't forget, if you liked it, to subscribe. If you don't, it's okay. We're just trying to grow and expand the knowledge of the game. Thank you guys. Take care. Much love.